Guys, stop scrolling for 1 second. This is the kind of off-season moment that makes your heart race. The Dodgers are on the verge of bringing back a 2-time World Series champion, a true Dodger idol, and this move is being positioned as a cornerstone play to push for the three-peat. If you love Dodger Blue, smash that like button right now and make sure you're subscribed. We're trying to break 12,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps us cover every move, every leak, and every emotional twist this team throws our way. We're talking about Corey Seager. Yes, Mr. Steal Your Girl himself, possibly coming home to Los Angeles. This is not fan wishful thinking. This is being reported as a working by ESPN, and we're going to get to it now.
Well, the big news on the trade rumor front today is from the Athletics' Ken Rosenthal. And Ken Rosenthal reported that Corey Seager, his top landing spots, well, hey, the Braves are one of 8 teams on his no-trade list. And the Braves, they certainly have a need at the shortstop spot. They certainly could use someone like Corey Seager. You got Ronald Acuna Jr. and you got Austin Riley. You got a lot of talent there. And there's a lot of reasons why a guy like Corey Seager would want to go to a team like Atlanta. But, hey, I think the fact that he has the Braves in his no team list, his trade list, where he's saying, okay, we're not going to go there, it kind of says that there's a world where he's very selective about where he wants to go. And the Yankees are not on Corey Seager's no trade list. It is believed the Yankees have what Texas needs in Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, and Ben Rice. You got catchers, you got some pitchers. But there's a report from Ken Rosenthal saying the Rangers could trade Corey Seager to cut payroll. And earlier this offseason, when it kind of got going, Rosenthal did say just a couple weeks ago that the Rangers are, quote, virtually certain to cut payroll, but that Corey Seager, Jacob deGrom, and Nathan Eovaldi are, quote, almost certainly not among the players that they intend to part with. Now, Corey Seager is still owed a lot of money, $186 million to be exact, $31.5 million per season through 2031. So that's a lot of team control. You're going to have to give up top prospects if you want to get him. And then you have to consider kind of where he's at and how he's performed at this stage of his career. And really, just kind of looking at his numbers, he's still really good. I mean, last year he had 271, 373 on base, a 487 slug, hit 21 home runs and 445 plate appearances. He was 7th among all shortstops in Fangraphs wins above plate replacement in Fangraphs F-WAR, despite just playing 97 games due to the injuries. Now, we know that he's dealt with injuries throughout his career. His time with the Dodgers was marred by injuries at times. The rotator cuff, just kind of getting banged up here and there, broken hand. We know that. But Corey Seager on the block, it's kind of interesting. Would it happen? Would they even trade him? It's no guarantee. But Ken Rosenthal is not someone that's just going to throw that out there just to say, okay, we're just going to do it. That's probably not going to be it. I mean, you'd get him for his age 32 to 37 season, so you get him for 6 years, 186, 189 million. The issue, the con for Corey Seager, he's missed games. He really has. I mean, he missed 43 games, 40 games. He's missed 60 games. I mean, the injuries have piled up, and typically with injuries, you don't avoid injuries. I mean, usually the injury risks kind of go higher. But man, is he clutch? Does he rake? Would that be something? I mean, it certainly would. It certainly would. I mean, on 2024, he was placed on the IL with right hip discomfort. He had a sports hernia on his right side. He missed the remainder of the 2024 season. But still, it would 123 games, hit 30 home runs, slug 512, had a 278 batting average. Last year, 102 games, 21 home runs in 50 RBI in 25 games. You saw what he did in 2023 to win the World Series MVP. And just kind of looking at how life has been for Corey Seager since we last saw him in Dodger Blue. You're talking about a guy that, man, this guy just absolutely is consistent as a hitter. He is a better defender too. I mean, you look at just last year. Last year he was a 4 outs above average in the 85th percentile. He's one of the slowest players in the league as far as percentile rankings go. In the 8th percentile, 25.3 feet per second. Doesn't have a great arm, but all the peripherals as far as barrel rate, elite. Hard hit percentage, elite. Average exit velo, elite. Expected slug, elite. Expected batting average, elite. Still strikes out a good amount, 27.9% of the time. In the 27th percentile. Doesn't chase much. Is elite when it comes to walk rate, a 13% walk rate in the 93rd percentile. So that's certainly elite for sure. And the question is, too, I mean, how has that production looked with the Rangers? How has that production looked since we last saw him? And since he signed with the Rangers, since he signed that monster contract, 344 games, and Corey Seager, well, yeah, man, that really hurt when he left. I'm not going to lie. But you add the games, and you look at where he's really excelled, and he's still he's an above average hitter. So would you want Corey Seager? There's a lot to think about. I mean, it is a commitment. The question, too, is does Corey Seager consider moving to third base? And you're looking for some left-handed power, a guy that I think would profile at third base well. I don't think that he would be someone that would be a negative there for sure. So there's that. And then you also look at the injuries, the contract. This was out of left field. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's a late-night show, kind of thinking about it. But, man, can you imagine Corey Seager somehow ending his career with the Dodgers, somehow coming back here? Be a lot of fun. Be also a lot of money. And just kind of look at how he's fared. So since signing with the Rangers, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Parts of 4 seasons, 495 games, 2,177 plate appearances. He's hit 117 home runs, 303 RBI, hitting 278 with a 355 on base, a 517 slug, and a 141 weighted runs created plus. So he's been 41% above league average offensively. That's really good. That's pretty fantastic. And I think for me, this is an interesting offseason. We're talking about, do you bring back Cody Bellinger? Now we're thinking, should we entertain the idea of bringing back Corey Seager? Should we re-sign Kenley Jansen? There's this let's get the band back together type of thoughts. I mean, Kike Hernandez is a free agent, so you'd have to bring him back. And it does feel like Mookie Betts is going to, at least right now, play that shortstop position. I mean, here's the thing. If you're willing to trade for Corey Seager, and commit to $189 million for the remainder of his contract, I mean, you could get younger and sign Bo Bichette for around the same price. I mean, yeah, Bo Bichette could get north of 200, maybe 208 million, something in that range. But you're talking about around the same price for a position change type of player that can rake. Of course, one's from the left side, one's from the right side. One's been dominant the BC is no question about Seager being better than Bellinger. No one's debating that. But yeah, well, and the other thing too is you're having to give up. You're gonna have to give up some prospects, but also too, I think you wouldn't have to give up like the entire farm or anything like that, just because you're absorbing a big chunk of change. Who knows? Maybe the Rangers are willing to pay down some of that just to get him off the books. So we're kind of in the initial stages, the information gathering stages of bringing Corey Seager back. The other thing too is, here's the thing. Corey Seager, and if you guys saw my interview with Andrew Friedman, I was the first person to ask Andrew about, hey, what happened with Corey Seager? Everyone thinks that you just let him walk. And Andrew Friedman said something to me that opened my eyes about the whole Corey Seager thing. And he said, hey, in negotiations, when someone signs somewhere, you can only sign a player or respond to a contract negotiation or make a better offer if you are presented with an opportunity to do that. And essentially, what Dodgers president of baseball operations, Andrew Friedman, told me was the Dodgers really did not get an opportunity to try to either match what the Rangers offered him at $325 million. And yes, with the California state taxes over 13% and all the facts and figures, to really match what the Rangers gave him, the Dodgers would have had to bend at 380 and very close to 400 if you're going dollar for dollar. But Scott Boras and Corey Seager did not go back to the Dodgers and say, hey, can you match this? That's not what happened. I can tell you that from speaking to the president of the Dodgers, Andrew Friedman. And I think that's also telling in this that Corey Seager did not want to be a Dodger. Corey Seager was not interested in pushing to establish those roots here, did not love living in Southern California to the point where he said, okay, I want to be here long term. Now, maybe something's changed, and that could absolutely be the case. He's older now. He kind of won a World Series there. Who knows? I mean, we all thought that maybe he could be the Yankee player, right? Thanks, Serge. Appreciate you. But we all know that. So it's just a lot of interesting things in play. There's not even any rumors right now even linking him to the Dodgers. There's not. And who knows? Maybe he gets his dream of being a Yankee. We all remember what happened when Corey Seager and the Dodgers went there in 2016, and he played Jeter's spot at the shortstop spot and how much that meant to him. Maybe eventually they get something done for that. But it's definitely something to ponder, something to chew on this offseason and how it impacts the Dodgers in one way or another. Whether they get him, whether they are showing any interest in getting him, whether they look to he goes to a team that they could be playing. The injury history is concerning because Corey Seager, it's tough to, and look, I think the Dodgers don't look at the regular season and say, oh gosh, we have to win 150 games, right? And have to win 120 games and finish with the best record. They don't view that, but at some point you wonder how poorly the back half of that contract ages. The last 3 years could be absolutely brutal with that one. But maybe if he changes positions to third after next year, Max Muncy's, they picked up his club option, $10 million. There are some questions moving forward at third base. Could Corey Seager be a long-term fit at third base? That's another thing to consider as well.
Corey isn't just a big name. He's a two-time World Series champion and two-time World Series MVP. A player who wins when the lights are brightest. That pedigree matters when you're trying to make history with back-to-back titles and push for a three-peat. If this reunion goes through, this season could be the most electric in franchise history. Imagine Seager stepping into Dodger Stadium in October. It would be cinematic, but it's not a movie. It's a possibility that the front office is actively pursuing right now. So do me one thing before you go. Smash that like button, subscribe, and help push this channel to 12,000 subscribers so we can keep breaking down every twist, every trade, and every championship moment together. I'm Victor. This is latest Los Angeles Dodgers news, and we're living every second of Dodger Blue. See you in the next one. Go Dodgers!